Hello everybody. There's been a lot of discourse recently about who Metheus actually is. You got some people claiming it's this one, and some people claiming it's this one. So today, I'm going to go over who I believe is Metheus, who I believe the other one is called, and why. There's never been any concrete confirmations on who is who, but there's been a lot of hints and signals that might set us on the right track. For those who ain't in the know, Metheus is a name that was first dropped with the ARGs of the same name a long time ago now. Within these puzzles, we're given some heavy lore about the ancient civilization that lived in the continent before we did. I'll go over this topic in a full-length Ancients lore video extremely soon, so make sure to subscribe to know when that drops. Just know that there were two figureheads for the civilization, the Cane Bearer and the Torch Bearer. These two silly guys or girls or others messed with ancient power that they really shouldn't have. Cane Bearer wanted to abuse it, Torch Bearer didn't. Ancient power got too zany, Torch Bearer tried to fight it, Torch Bearer history, Cane Bearer sad, civilization gone. Now, one of those guys is Metheus. Which one? Well, it's this one, but let me show you how I got here first. To start off, the name Metheus is only said in-game at like 2 points. Once during the Ancient Fuel Weaver boss fight, and the other is when you get your Ancient Cane skin from doing the Metheus puzzles, which says that Metheus has taken heed. Also, this cane skin rocks, make sure you do the puzzles. Confusion arose from who exactly Metheus was thanks to both of these points. First of all, you get the message Metheus has taken heed when you're given the Cane Bearer's cane. It makes sense for the Cane Bearer to be Metheus, right? Well, not at all. Okay, well no, it does make sense, it's just not correct. As annoying as it sounds, it's unrelated, in a sense. You see, in the Metheus puzzles themselves that we mentioned earlier, one of the murals shows the Cane Bearer Ancient raising the Ancient Fuel Weaver, and the very same Fuel Weaver says that they're shutting down the Ancient Gateway for Metheus. It makes sense that Metheus would be the Cane Bearer since the skeleton is shutting down the gateway for their master, the one who originally rose them. Wrong, because the Ancient Fuel Weaver is the Cane Bearer. Just look at the name for a moment. Ancient Fuel Weaver. In the murals, we can see the Cane Bearer being the one that takes full advantage of the shadows to begin with, using their power to grow crops and make magical components. Almost as if they're, weaving the nightmare fuel that the Gateway granted their civilization. But how does that make sense? How can the Cane Bearer be the Fuel Weaver if, this shot exists? Well, this part might be a little bit of conjecture at this point since it's never been outrightly spoken, but after the ancient civilization crumbled due to its rampant abuse of nightmare fuel, the Cane Bearer found some way to transfer their soul, their atrium, into the vessel that they summoned a long time ago. How exactly is not fully known at the current time, but it gave the Cane Bearer a way to harness a form long after he was gone, and use that form to try and undo the hubris that they did so long ago, or well, attempt to stop someone else from doing it. If you want more confirmation of this, just look at their quotes when you're fighting them. They remark how their kingdom has fallen, and how their hubris had ruined everything. When the ancient skeleton says that they're doing this for Metheus, they're not talking about their master that rose them. It's the king themselves, the Cane Bearer, saying that they're doing it for the one that tried to shut the gateway originally, the Torch Bearer. So, we've confirmed that this cannot be Metheus, but how can we confirm that this is Metheus? Well, besides what I just said about the Fuel Weaver wanting to pick up where the Torch Bearer once failed, there's other hints and clues we can look at. The first and most obvious one is real-world significance. The name Metheus is a shorthanded version of Prometheus, who is a titan from Greek mythology who stole fire from the gods and gave it to mankind. Now, tell me what a little torchbearer is holding and known for holding? That's right. Sometimes the most obvious answers are usually the correct ones. But besides that, there's an elephant in the room we've got to talk about. The quote that appears when you attain the ancient cane from the Metheus puzzles. It says, Metheus has taken heed, meaning that this Metheus person has, taken heed of the situation and is now aware of what's going on. But how does that make sense? Didn't the Torchbearer, the one you're calling Metheus, Ash, die whilst trying to put the ancient gateway back in its place? Oh, you see, Metheus didn't die. With whatever remains of her power, she, granted Charlie the ability to survive in the shadows, so she could hunt down Maxwell, usurp him from the Nightmare Throne, and grant Charlie and herself, Metheus is a she by the way, equality win, immense power from the throne. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Metheus is a shadow monster now. She's, She's living in Charlie's shadow. Literally. For how long? We know that Charlie was granted a great and mysterious power from something after she arrived in the Constant thanks to what was mentioned in her stage play. Click up here to learn more, by the way. But a lot of people always assumed, including myself, that that power was granted by the Shadows directly, or another arm of it. But as we saw in the latest animated shorts, it was most likely Metheus. So Metheus taking heed meant that Metheus, as one half of the Shadow Queen Charlie, took heed. Since after all of this ARG, we got the entire story arc that started the founding of the Ancient Gateway. Metheus getting struck down by the Ancient Gateway way back then probably revived her as a thrall of the Shadows. A thrall with immense knowledge on the kingdom and the Ancient Gateway itself. This explains how Charlie was able to rebuild the Gateway, because someone from back when it was at its inception has been living as a part of her the whole time. And that's why we know that this person here, in this very shot, is Metheus. Or well, strongly suggest to be Metheus at least. If it turns out this is Cyclum or something, I'm going to throw my computer out the window. But why is Metheus doing this? She was against the Shadows for so long. Why is she now part of them? Well, if you want to know more about that, then you gotta wait until my Ancients lore video coming very, very soon. But before I wrap up, another popular name that goes around the DST lore sphere is Cyclum, since, to make matters even more confusing, there exists another ARG where you obtain Metheus' torch, called Cyclum. So now you see why people did the whole "this is Cyclum and this is Metheus" bit. Personally, I don't see Cyclum being in the name of any of these creatures, or a name at all for that matter, and I think the torch being awarded was unrelated. The term Cyclum more so refers to the new cycle of events that predated Metheus taking heed, the whole multiplayer aspect. Why did Clay make the Cyclum puzzles give Metheus his torch and the Metheus puzzle give the Cane Bearers Cane? Because they hate me! Don't Starve lore can be funny like that. Sometimes things are backwards and confusing, like the ARG names, and other times, like with Metheus' name being a riff on Prometheus, things are as often obvious as what they seem on the surface. It keeps me on my toes at least, yeah? That is all there is to really say about this topic for now. A lot of confusion from originally who Metheus is, perpetuated by rumours and simply not knowing enough at the time. I hope this answers any questions you guys might have over which of these silly little bug-like crab people is Metheus. Just remember that the universe of Don't Starve is forever changing. New information and lore is being revealed each and every turn of the page. Don't feel bad knowing that you may have been wrong about something before, because it's possible that originally, that was the only answer there was. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong about this video too. Maybe everything I say will be completely nullified within a few days. It's happened before. And if that does happen, I'll take it with pride. Or at least I say I will. I'll probably cry about it on Discord. But for now, I'm heading off. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel in whatever way you can. I love all of you a billion, as parasocial as heck as that may be. Take care everybody, and have a lovely time. Bye bye everyone.